I don't quite see yet what is the difference between a dreamer who imagines a better world as a kind of castle in the air and a spiritual disciple who lives in a virtual, thus also in an imagined ashram. The dreamer is only dreaming. As opposed to that, we are actually working on a real improvement of everyday worldly life. We strive to establish the conditions of heaven, where our soul lives, on earth as well. The teaching of how to walk on earth is revealed to those who consider heaven to be alive. Your existence in the ashram of a teacher, even if it is only virtual, is already service to the common good. What is the aim of Agni Yoga? To establish the rule of the spirit. This, as we discussed in the video "We are building the world of the future," is only conceivable as the rule of the Mahatmas on earth. We are working towards the day when a Mahatma or his high plenipotentiary will appear and take over the leadership of one of our communities, or even as in ancient Egypt, of an entire country. Many are dreaming of the advent of the avatar, but you must clearly realize the present time does not permit the physical appearance of a Mahatma at all. It must be understood that not a single teacher of the Brotherhood, after spending very many years in the main stronghold, is able to live among people during the time of Armageddon. If even advanced disciples are unable to stay for long in the valleys and cannot endure certain auras, how much more difficult is it for the teachers of the White Brotherhood? The greatest individuality cannot be manifested now, in the midst of chaotic thinking and the vibrations of depraved crowds. In view of the level of contemporary humanity, the advent in a physical form is entirely impossible. We humans have yet to become mature enough for a member of the Brotherhood to appear in our midst and guide us. The present race as a whole has been informed that if its units are to be individually benefited by means of the advent of an avatar, they must make conditions of mind and body for the reception and subsequent use of the forces to be spread by that avatar. The coming of the avatar will sound the keynote for the new cycle. The conditions of the old cycle must practically be over before he can come in full measure. This means the stabilizing of conditions in the world on the truth of the middle path before the great event occurs. It will also mean that at last the children of man will have to be able to establish on earth conditions that will prevent wars, a condition of universal peace. On this foundation, and on this foundation alone, can the avatar appear? How can we become worthy of such a return of a Mahatma? The best preparation is undoubtedly let us live already now, as individuals and as a community, as if a great teacher were present and guiding us. Our mantra is I will endeavor to realize the presence of the avatar as a living power in my life. The earnest endeavor to realize his presence daily will help in his manifestation. We already now submit to the spiritual guidance of the Brotherhood. We are cultivating already now, first individually and then in small communities, a way of life so sublime, that is, so largely in accordance with the cosmic order, that even a Mahatma could physically live among us. With the still nearer approach of the avataric light, the old order of things will crumble more and more, and will disappear, to be replaced by an order of life more in accord with natural and divine law. The possibility of preparing, as it were, for the coming central figure of a new humanity rests upon implicit obedience to the laws laid down, and not upon the action of any personality. We cannot form the guardian wall for that great center, the coming avatar, without the suitable, steadfast, coherent stones, disciples, with which to build it. And without that wall, no such center can maintain individual form and carry out a divine purpose while in that form, for any length of time on the physical plane. But aren't we far away from that today? Yes, before we can think of physically building such a settlement of the new era, it must first grow in our hearts. Now you realize the paramount importance of practicing the interior temple or the ashram in the heart. As we had already said in the video, we are building the world of the future. The temple in the heart of every individual human being is the foundation of the world-state temple of humanity. I have told some of you of the former existence of a great city whose inhabitants were far ahead of the present civilization in art and science, as well as in sociology and ethics. I have told you that the cycle of the rebuilding of that city has now returned. In no other city can the first appearance of the next avatar on the physical plane take place. The reappearance of the last avatar is already an accomplished fact on the astral plane. His return to the physical plane will come to pass when a place and a people are prepared for it. But this city must first be built in the hearts of the people. before it can materialize on the physical plane. In this case, the avatar does not necessarily have to appear physically. He can spiritually lead those far advanced disciples who are close to him, and through them, a whole community. If a man has evolved to the degree where it will be possible for him to interiorly recognize the presence of the Christos, it will be a matter of indifference to him personally whether that avatar will appear in a physical body or not. In the process of development, he would have created within himself a psychic center of action within which a response would be aroused by the mental stimulus of another who was attuned to the same key. Perfect devotion to and intercommunication with the Christos would attune the consciousness to the key note of the Christos.